Get ready for action because Slovenian pro golfer Ana Belac just punched her ticket to the U.S. Women's Open. In a stunning display at the Wilderness Country Club in Naples, Florida, Belac shot a phenomenal 6 under par 65 on the second 18 hole to secure her spot in the national championship in just 1 month. She battled tough competition, beating Spain's amateur Paula Francisco by 6 strokes, and you won't want to miss the details of how this unexpected qualifier turned into a major championship run.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we dive into the world of professional driving, as Catonsville UPS driver Nick Barrett made a huge move. Barrett left absolutely no doubt in a local qualifying event for the 126th U.S. Open at Turf Valley Resort in Ellicott City, finishing his round with a crucial birdie on the 18th hole to cement his place in the final qualifier. We break down the intense competition, including how he navigated a field vying for just 7 coveted spots, and why this performance is making things really interesting for the U.S. Open. Now shifting gears to the world of professional tennis, the fight for player rights is heating up. Jannik Sinner is speaking out loud, adding his voice to the prize money protests at the French Open and demanding a response from Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. Sinner is calling for a change, arguing that players are not receiving a fair share of tournament revenues, and he is demanding that the governing bodies have a meeting within 48 hours. And finally, we look ahead to the future of collegiate athletics and the U.S. Open. Penn State's next big recruit, Jaden James, is tearing his way through the U20 field at this year's U.S. Open, showing incredible talent that could change the landscape of college sports. We cover all the action, from the intense competition to the potential impact of this rising star, so stick around because this is the story you need to see. Slovenian professional golfer Ana Belac has secured her spot in the U.S. Women's Open, qualifying for America's national championship in just 1 month. Belac achieved this feat at the Wilderness Country Club in Naples, Florida, on Wednesday, May 6, by shooting a 6 under par 65 on the second 18 hole. The performance propelled her into the field alongside Spain's amateur Paula Francisco, who finished second with a score of 140. Francisco led after the first round, posting a 68 on the 5,725-yard, par 71 layout, but Belac mounted a brilliant second round to overtake her, ultimately finishing with a total score of 134. Belac expressed surprise at her success, stating, "I didn't have a whole lot of expectations, 'cause I've never made it through a qualifier. But I was able to stick to my own game and had some experience in the LPGA Tour for 5 years, so a lot of experience paid off today." Belac was notable for being the only golfer in the 56-player field to break 70 on both 18-hole rounds. Her success was attributed to her short game, with Belac noting, "I feel I was really solid with my wedges. I felt if I drove it well, I could set up my wedges." The other top finishers included Jenny Thompson, who finished third with a total score of 141, and Louisaine Gauthier, who placed fourth with a score of 143. Thompson and Gauthier will serve as alternates at the Women's Open at Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California. Belac's professional career began in the spring of 2020 after her senior season at Duke University was interrupted by COVID-19. She earned her LPGA Tour card for the 2021 season by winning the Symetra Tour's Carolina Golf Classic and the Volvic Race for the card, accumulating 2 career LPGA top 10 finishes. A local driver has secured a spot in the final qualifier for the 126th U.S. Open. Nick Barrett, a 32-year-old UPS driver from Catonsville, earned his qualification after finishing his round with a birdie on the 18th hole at the qualifying event held at Turf Valley Resort in Ellicott City. Barrett shot a 1 under 69, tying for 4th place with Oliver Clark of Baltimore and Charlie Hansen of Mannequin Sabo, Virginia. The field featured strong performances, including Francisco Perez of Hyattsville, who led the 132-player field with a 4 under 66. Daniel Azalian of Arcady, South Carolina, and Chase Nevins of Great Falls, Virginia, tied for second place with a 2 under 68. Barrett's crucial birdie on the 18th hole lifted him from a group tied at even par 70, successfully avoiding a playoff with 8 other golfers for one of the 7 coveted qualifying berths and 2 alternate spots. Barrett expressed his enthusiasm, stating, "Definitely making it interesting." Top tennis players are escalating demands for a larger share of tournament revenues, targeting the French Open and seeking responses from Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. Jannik Sinner voiced the growing dissatisfaction, stating that players are receiving significantly less than they deserve. Sinner emphasized that the issue is about respect, asserting, "I think we give much more than what we are getting back." The players have specifically targeted the French Open for allegedly reducing their share of revenue to just 15%, a stark contrast to the 22% share enjoyed at ATP and WTA events like the Italian Open. Players claim their revenue share at Roland Garros has dropped from 15.5% in 2024 to a projected 14.9% in 2026. While some, like Aryna Sabalenka, have suggested a boycott, Sinner indicated a cautious approach, stating it is difficult to predict the future, but acknowledging that somewhere we need to start. He urged Wimbledon and the U.S. Open to respond promptly, demanding a meeting within 48 hours. These protests follow previous efforts by the players to lobby the 4 Grand Slams for increased prize money and greater decision-making power. In response to these efforts, Wimbledon increased its 2025 total pot by 7%, the U.S. Open by 20%, and the Australian Open by 16%. French Open organizers had announced a 10% increase in overall prize money, boosting the total pot to €61.7 million. However, the players countered that these figures do not reflect the true distribution of tournament revenues. Sinner highlighted that men's players currently receive about 30% of revenue shares at ATP Tour events, arguing that the current allocation is insufficient. The players are calling for a collaborative approach across all governing bodies, the 4 Grand Slams, ATP, WTA, and the International Tennis Federation, to establish a fair business formula for the sport, a sentiment echoed by Novak Djokovic, who previously challenged governing bodies and advocated for unified action. The 2026 U.S. Open Championships in flow wrestling is heating up with significant action, highlighted by the emergence of a major prospect. Jaden James, Penn State's next big recruit, has been making waves, completely tearing through the U20 field at this year's U.S. Open. Coverage has focused heavily on the competitive landscape, featuring numerous high-stakes matches across various divisions. The event schedule has been packed with intense competition, including the 2026 U.S. Greco-Roman World Team Trials Finals, which saw matches in Round 1, Round 2, and Round 3, alongside the Senior Women's Freestyle Finals and Senior Men's Freestyle Finals. The U20 Freestyle Finals also proved to be a major attraction. Beyond the youth competitions, the event featured a full-board senior-level run at the 2026 U.S. Open. The atmosphere was charged, with reports noting the chaos the U.S. Open created. Other notable bouts included a 92 Finals KG Champ match in Round 3 between Mario Hutcherson of Young Guns Wrestling Club and Salit Sarni of Blairstown Wrestling Club. The event concluded with various finals determining championship titles, underscoring the high level of competition present at the 2026 U.S. Open.